Rosie, this is Rosie Hardy Gardening. Today we are going to be talking about plants that we have either bred ourselves here at Hardy's Cottage Garden Plants or that we have introduced to the general public via the flower shows here in the UK. If you enjoy this video, then please do check out other videos we have made on other gardening topics. I have got here two different sections of plants that, firstly, these ones are ones that we have bred and introduced, and other ones that we have introduced for other breeders. So where shall we start? Let's start with the one that is related to one of the first ever plants that we bred, and this is a Gallardia. This Gallardia here is honey apricot, and it is a really beautiful large flowered form, soft apricot colour here on the flower itself, masses of flower per plant per stem, and also not too tall. So this is a much shorter one for the front of the border, free flowering, totally hardy here in the UK, so hardy down to about -10, -12, which makes it really good. It will tolerate drier conditions and it doesn't mind our winter wet. The one thing that is really beautiful about this one is when the flowers are fully out, they're flat like this. As they go over, they turn into this shuttlecock shape, and then they drop their petals and you're left with these lovely yellow stems. Now, all of the flowers, even when they are like this, will last in water, so they're an excellent cut flower, which is really good. And as you can see, pollinator friendly as well. Now, the first one that we bred was one called Gaillardia Oranges and Lemons for those people who live in the USA, but for us here in the UK we called it St. Clement's, which basically is an orange and lemon drink. So it was a taller variety, really good strong form, and worked really well. Then we got slightly different coloured and slightly lower ones, and this one is the newest one. So this is apricot honey. After the Gaillardias, we started breeding a few Gaura, and this is the first of the really successful Gauras we produced. It was the first ever break in colour on the actual flowers. So this is Gaura Rosyjane. I'm sorry, these have now changed their name and they are now Oenothera. Anyway, I'll still stay with Gaura. So you can see it has a beautiful pink pickety edge, solid white in the middle, beautiful bright pink round the outside. It was the first time there was a bi-coloured form of Gaura. This is quite a tall form, as you can see, lovely wafting actual stems, really floriferous, flowers right the way through the summer, right the way through till probably October time. And then if you look at other videos that we have done, it will explain how to look after them for the winter and how to prepare them for the spring. So this is Gaura Rosyjane. Then the most recent introduction is this beautiful one, and this is an anemone. This is Anemone Frilly Knickers. Anemone Frilly Knickers has beautiful, huge, big double buds like this. Starts off with this lovely purple colour going through to white. And when you look at the reverse of the actual flowers, you will see how beautiful and purple they are. So depending on where you are, you will either see the front or you will see the back. It can get a little bit taller than it is in this pot, so something up to around about 60 centimetres is probably the maximum it will get to. It flowers freely right the way through the late summer into the autumn months, and it's just a fun name, Anemone Frilly Knickers, and it is just over in the USA now on trial. Then we have got a couple of things here. This one here is an Astrantia, Astrantia Burgundy Manor. Now, Astrantia Burgundy Manor wasn't originally called that. This is a very beautiful, strong growing Astrantia that comes from a lovely lady who bred a lot of Astrantias in the UK, Jill Richardson. And originally when I went over to see her to select some of her plants, this was down in a ditch, and where she lives in Lincolnshire, they're called dikes. And I said, oh, I like that one down there, and I actually fell down the ditch to the bottom, and then I stood up and it was actually on my eye level, and I said I still like it. So originally this was called Rosy's Tumble, so we changed it to being Burgundy Manor, much easier, burgundy in colour. Manor farmhouse is where it came from, that's why it's called that. Good strong stems, really good large flowers, free flowering. This is its second or third flowering for this year. Then we have a beautiful smaller growing Nepeta Summer Magic, and this is just superb. It just keeps on going. This has got a bit of grandiflora in its breeding, and when they have grandiflora bloodline, it means that they don't have the same sort of oil in the leaf, which means that the cats don't tend to go and roll in it or chew it as much. So it is much better for those people who don't want to have the cats all going for their Nepetas. This will go in full sun, free draining, heavy soils, you name it. It's really, really good in clay. It is a fabulous alternative to people who cannot grow lavenders, because this will just keep on flowering, keep on flowering. When you get to the end of season, you get a haircut back down here, and you will be left with the foliage staying at the bottom, looking really quite fun. Then the last one we've got here, which is not flowering at the moment, but it will flower again, is Geum Totally Tangerine. Now this has to be one of the most famous plants that we've launched. We launched it at Chelsea Flower Show. One year it went into the flower show and everybody saw it, and the following year nearly every garden was full of Geum Totally Tangerine. And if you go to Chelsea, go to the spring shows, you will see Geum Totally Tangerine. It's just a stunning plant, beautifully tall, lovely tangerine coloured flowers, really hardy, very, very easy to grow. An excellent plant for the garden. So that's the difference, some that we have bred ourselves, some that we have introduced for other breeders. All of these are British bred perennials. Thank you very much for watching, and please do subscribe to the channel.